Okay, hello everyone. Hello everyone. Welcome to tonight's session. This evening we do have a very special guest on the line who is a serial entrepreneur and and a very successful business strategist. What we're going to talk about tonight is some business startup basics, some creative financing for your tax business, and just kind of answer some questions you guys may have. A lot of you guys had a lot of questions during some of our other meetings about, what your business structure should be, and you're just starting your business for the first time, so you're kind of confused about the differences between some of those. So we have somebody on the line tonight. He's a business startup coach. He's a consultant. He helps new businesses like you guys who are on the line who started your tax business and are growing your business. He himself has personally owned and operated more than 11 businesses in 6 different industries over the last 18 years, with the very first one being at the age of 8. Businesses that he has started includes a nonprofit organization at the age of 19, a restaurant while attending college at the University of South Carolina, Jana King, if any of you have ever heard of that, the cleaning franchise. He started that at the age of 22. Also an online business that nets $1,200 a day, and a list of many more. So this clearly indicates that he is no stranger to being an entrepreneur. So I'd like for you all to know that I'd like to know that this session is being recorded. So it will be available to you all. I know how I like to have our calls. I like our calls to be very interactive. So at any point that you guys have any questions, just go ahead and just unmute your phone, *6, or if you're in the chat, if you're unable to actually unmute your phone or whatever, for whatever reason, you can also place questions in the chat and I'll make sure he gets those questions. So without further hesitation, our speaker tonight is Timothy Simpson, and he is on the line. So, Tim, are you there?
Yes, ma'am, and thank you for having me, Kimberly.
Awesome.
Okay, now I can only see their names and their microphones. Like I don't see any visual, like on my screen. I just see
okay.
Is it?
Some people don't have their video on, so.
Okay, gotcha. All right, that's fine. Like I said, if they have any questions, they can just go with it, and then I can kind of be more interactive and answer questions, just while I'm talking about each point. So it's about them. So just say whatever questions they got first. I can actually start with them. And thanks again for the wonderful intro. So, all right, now, at what level of business ownership are most of them? Like, are most of them in startup process or like?
Yeah, most people that are on the phone are just now starting a tax business. They probably have been doing taxes, but just now starting a tax business. We have some people that may have been doing it for maybe up to 5, 6 years,
Gotcha.
but they still may want to revamp their tax business. So their structure may still be operating as a sole proprietorship and may want to take it up a notch because they've gotten more clientele. And I do want to say to you guys, take a lot of notes because this will be a verbal interaction, so make sure you're taking some notes as well. But yeah, that's pretty much the audience. Most people have started their tax business or growing it.
Okay. Well, what I'll do is I'll just do a brief touch on business startup, and then I'll go into like 3 different legal structures, and then I'll pause and see if they got any questions from there.
Okay.
All right. So, for all of you who are in business, thanks again for taking the jump. I know business and entrepreneurship is a big step for a lot of people. As Kimberly said, I've done it like so many times. It's almost second nature to me. What I would tell any aspiring or existing business owner, the most important document other than your legal document that you're going to have is probably your business plan. All right. And the reason why I say your business plan, because it's literally your guide to your business growth, your operations, your marketing plan, your financial plan, like basically your whole business is on paper. So at this time, if anyone doesn't have a very solid business plan, and solid business plan don't mean I got 20 pages of jargon and it's blah, 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 blah. All right. A business plan, basically, all right, just say when I coach my clients, I give them basically my $2 million business plan template, because my business plan that I wrote in 2002 has helped me grow over $2 million. So, and I use a very short method. I won't get into like the full range of it, but I'll give you like the key points. And I do have a business plan writing course that's really simple. It's going to basically tell you the same information that I'm going to summarize. So, all right, just say, even if you've been in business 5 years, like if your business is not
Sorry about that.
doing, we'll say, if you're, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, sorry. Just say, even if you've been in business for 5 years and your business is not doing exactly what you intended, most likely it's because of your plan. Like in the Army, we had a saying, plan your work and work your plan. So your business plan is going to be one of the most important documents. So, all right, just say, in my business plan course, I talk about 5 W's, 1 H. Like, I make it really simple, and it's the same formula that we use in the Army to write operations orders which actually guide troops into war. So it was that serious. So, all right, with my template, I focus on 5 W's, 1 H, and that's who, what, when, where, why, and then how. All right. Within those 6 elements, you get your marketing plan, you get your vision statement, you get your mission statement, you get your financial plan, which the most important part of your financial plan is going to be your break-even analysis. All right, and basically what that means is, if you spend 1,000 to get started in business, your break-even point is when you make that $1,000 back. So we're just gonna make numbers really simple. So if you spend 1,000 and just say you did 1,000 in sales, you actually didn't make 1,000. You just broke even. All right. And then above zero, like once you break even, then that would be considered your profit. But until you get your recoup your money that you put into your venture, you actually are not making money. All right. Now, with some of my businesses, I actually did a break even analysis every week, some every day. So, I just say, for instance, I've owned two tire shops. All right. I bought my first one 4 years ago off of Craigslist. It was already doing 6 figures. So the main thing, since it was a cash business, I had to keep up with my dollars and cents plus my inventory. So the numbers became really, really important. Now, I eventually hired a bookkeeper, in which, Kimberly provides tax software. So that's a good thing. That's really smart that, you get tools like that to make it easy. All right. Just say, initially I didn't have a bookkeeper and or software, and I was losing money out of the butt. So we'll say the business was doing 6 figures, but it wasn't all coming to my pocket. Between my shop rent was like 1,880, payroll was like $4,000 a month. Then I had shop insurance. I still had inventory. So once I kind of lost enough money and was like, okay, well, I'm spending. The company's making money, but I'm not personally pocketing money. That led me to hiring a bookkeeper plus doing my break even analysis every single month. So I just say how my break even analysis looked was, all right, before, all right, just say when you start the month, each month, all right, on my break even analysis on the paper, this is how I looked at ground zero before I started the month. All right, negative 1,800 because the shop rent automatically got to get paid. All right, I had 2 employees, so another 4,200 that was going to them. My shop insurance was 250 a month, so they had to come out. Inventory another 1,000. So I didn't start the month off at zero. I actually started negative about 7,000. All right. So your break even point, or my break even point, would have been once I make $7,000, however long that took, a day, a week, 2 weeks, then on top of that would be the profit. All right. So you want to know your dollars and cents. Like any business, the most important thing is your numbers. All right. Same thing. I was in a restaurant business when I was 22. I was like the youngest restaurant owner probably in the Southeast, probably in America. Who knows? But I was 22, and I had a restaurant, and for like weeks we didn't do our numbers. Like we would basically just put together combinations and just say, hey, $6, hey, $7. But once we saw that we wasn't making any money, we had to go back to the drawing board and basically break down everything to the exact slice, the ounce, all of that. So just say if it was 30 slices in a loaf of bread and it cost $4, like we literally had to count every slice of bread and then divide it by the amount that it cost, and then that way we knew how much each slice of bread cost. All right, and then we did the same thing for the cheese. We did the same thing for the vegetables. And then once we got that number, and just say it came out to be 325, then we would say, all right, this combo is $7, because we would see what our liabilities were, which was about, whatever, our material costs. And then in between that and the price we gave was the profit. All right. So in any business, like I said, you want to, you're in the numbers business, but you also want to do your numbers because that's what, what's going to say if you're making money, if you're growing, if you're profitable. That's going to determine your marketing budget. That's going to determine whether you can pay yourself a salary, whether you can expand and get a physical location. Because I know, most businesses now, which is smart, are either home based, which, is tax deductions for that, or they're online. Like, for instance, like I have, I sold my cleaning company in 2016. I closed one tire shop down last year, and then I sold one in February. So now the two businesses that I'm working on, they're basically global home-based businesses. So that means I can run my whole business right from my cell phone, my laptop, and I can be anywhere. And I actually just say one of my companies is a youth development academy in which I have 9 independent academies in 9 different states and even one in Ghana, Africa, and I'm able to run it right from my cell phone. All right, because if you don't understand, we're actually in a digital era, meaning the same reason why you don't see Jet Magazine, Ebony, or Black Enterprise in print. The visionary owners, Earl Graves, John Johnson, they saw that we were headed to a digital era. All right, the same reason the top 4 companies are online based. You got Amazon, you got Alibaba, you got Google and Facebook. All are internet based. So all right. So if just say for family and friends that don't understand business, do not let them belittle your company if it's home based or if it's online, because they just don't know, how businesses ran now. And you can have a very, very profitable business and be pretty much running it from your cell phone or from the comfort of your house. All right. So, like I said, with your business plan, you want to revise it, or if you need assistance, I do that's finance. I got a course, but you want to focus on you where your where you know, like more. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I think
still on. I'm still
okay,
on. I
good.
can
I'm back.
see. I can see
Okay.
you.
Still here too, Kim.
Okay,
Kim, still here.
I
All
got
right.
kicked a second. But yeah,
Tim, do
for
you
the
actually sell your business plan template?
Yes, ma'am. I actually I have a business plan like course, so it's available. Like I would have to send the link because I got like the short link or whatever. But yeah, I sell the course and it kind of breaks down like my business plan. And then I also like when you purchase the course, I also do like a 1 hour consultation. That way I can kind of walk you through. But and like my business plans, and like I said, I wrote business plans that spawned into 6-figure companies. Um, I write them like they're no longer than 3 pages. All right. And I tell people the only time you would need to write a long, detailed business plan is if you're trying to get a grant or a business loan from the bank, in which, both of them are, challenging within themselves. But if you're just trying to start your business and make it profitable and move forward, you want to make it short and sweet. All right. Because it's a such thing as elevator pitch, meaning we're in a digital instant gratification era, meaning you do not have that much of people's time. So just say if you write a 20-page business plan, but you can't regurgitate it, then that means it's too long. So your business plan should be, like I said, short and sweet to the point where it's almost like an elevator pitch. If somebody say, well, excuse me, what is your mission statement? You should be able to, regurgitate it. If they say, all right, well, what kind of marketing plan do you got? It shouldn't be 5-6 pages to where you couldn't say, all right, well, I market on social media, I buy these advertisements, I do this promotions, blah, blah, blah. So my business plan creation course is structured to where you can actually regurgitate it if needed, and it'll kind of further improve your elevator pitch.
Right. And they actually did an elevator pitch in one of the I had some marketing challenges last month, and one of the first one was for them to do an elevator pitch, so that's good.
Okay, good deal. Good deal. That's good training because, like I said, in an instant gratification era, you only have about 3 minutes of people time, and then if you don't hear the key points and the benefits to them actually listening to you, then you lost them. Like you won't be able to sell to them, you won't be able to market, promote. Like it's pretty much over because after 3 minutes, it's gonna sound like blah 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 blah.
Mhm.
All right.
Right.
Any more questions or anything y'all want me to touch on as far as business startups?
I think someone put in the chat LLCs, so I guess that will be moving into your next topic, which is legal structure.
Okay. Now, all right. As far as legal structure, all right. If you're solo, and you don't plan on having any partners, any DBAs, which is doing business as, that's just saying, hey, I got the same tax ID number, but I got multiple businesses under that same tax ID number or umbrella company, then I just say a sole proprietorship is, hey, it's just me. I'm going to assume all the risks. All right. And that's, pretty much what sole proprietor is. It's just me. I'm going to assume all the risks. All right. A partnership would be, all right, it's you and a partner. And usually you have to draw up a partnership agreement. And basically, you give that to the bank. You put it on your paperwork when you get your business license, and it basically, like, sometimes they call it limited partnership, but that basically just means it's two people in a business agreement, and y'all basically assume the risk together. Now, a limited liability company, that's what I started in 2002, and then just say most of the 11 businesses that I started after were actually DBAs, which just means doing business as. So I just say I have my umbrella company, which is called All Purpose Entrepreneurs. So at 22, I understood that I was going to do multiple businesses. So it wasn't an accident that I became a serial entrepreneur. Like in my original business plan that I still have, I wrote that I wanted to own multiple businesses. So I took the conscious choice to pick a limited liability company as my legal structure because I knew I wanted to just create under one umbrella. So just say, all right, I have my umbrella company, and then I have multiple DBAs, which means, all right, instead of having to apply for another tax ID number, I can actually use the same tax ID number as my LLC because technically it was the same company, but it was doing business as an independent company. We'll just say a baby under that umbrella, but it all basically tied into the same tax ID number. And if you make it technical, it can get technical, but it's really not that technical. LLC basically is like it implies in the word limited liability company. So that means versus sole proprietorship or partnership, your limited liability company is like a separate entity that assumes the liabilities if, in any case, your company got sued for assets. All right, they would only be able to recoup what your LLC had versus your individual person. All right, does that sound pretty clear?
Yeah, it does. I actually have a question about that because I had some people asking me a question. So to piggyback off of what you were saying about the multiple LLCs, we have some people that have multiple business types. So they may offer credit repair, they may offer insurance, and they also may offer tax preparation. So basically, there can be a parent LLC, right? And then you can should you do multiple DBAs or multiple LLCs under that parent LLC?
Well, the thing is, since it's basically the same company, like
Mhm.
the DBA, you can actually put LLC on there.
Oh, really?
Okay. Okay.
Now, and like I said, it's different. Now, it might be different in certain states. In South
Okay.
Carolina, like, all right, just say my umbrella company was All Purpose Entrepreneurs LLC. All right,
Mhm.
my cleaning company was AP Cleaning Services LLC. So I didn't set up a separate LLC since it was actually under that DBA. It was like, just say when I went to get the business license, the lady was like, okay, do you have an LLC? Are you a sole proprietor or are you a partnership? All right. Guess what? I assumed the LLC because it was underneath that umbrella corporation. Whereas when I started a separate cleaning company outside of my LLC, then I couldn't use LLC because it was actually a sole proprietorship. So
Okay.
I guess that would be the technical aspect, is if it's a DBA of a LLC, it's basically, and when you get rid of the red tape, it's pretty much the same company. So
Okay.
the LLC would be more like a title.
Right. Right.
Okay.
So it has to be the same type of
Kimberly.
entity.
I have
Yes.
a question.
Hmm.
Kim, this
Yes.
is Rita.
Tim or Kim. We got to get a nickname. Tim or Kim.
Tim. This is Rita. Okay. My question is, okay, I have a LLC. So would I have, if I'm gonna do business as, say, doing the tax business and come up with a name for my tax business, do I have to put the parent company on the paperwork?
Only on your business license and most likely your bank account. But just say when you advertise, like on your business card, you don't have to say blah 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 umbrella company, DBA, this accounting firm or tax firm. But now for like, just say, when it comes to the state and federal, all right, they're just gonna make sure your paperwork is lined up right. So when you do your business license, they'll say, all right, are you an LLC? If you say yes, then you'll have to put your LLC on there, and then it'll say DBA, the company that you're getting the license in, and literally that's what it'll be on your license. But for your marketing, promotions, advertising, you can just talk specifically about the DBA and not mention the LLC. Like, all right, perfect example. The same company, I'm gonna name 3 companies, and it's actually owned by the same umbrella company. All right, have y'all heard of Old Navy?
Yes.
All right, Banana Republic
Yes.
and Gap.
Yes.
Okay, they're actually owned by the same company. A lot of people don't know that, but what they do is they do what you call market segmentation, meaning Old Navy caters to college and low income. All right, Gap caters to college and middle income, and then Banana Republic caters to middle, college, and high income. But it's actually owned by the same company, and it's under their umbrella.
Okay.
One consideration, I would
have
just
a
add a little.
question.
One consideration to think about when you are determining if you want to have one LLC or multiple LLC is to remember that word liability. So if you have multiple companies, and it depends on what kind of business you're in and how much concern you have over potential liability or being sued, because whatever's attached to that LLC will be considered in any lawsuit, even if it's a different business.
Absolutely. Like, that's what I was saying, especially the same company. It's the same
So
company.
if you have one LLC and you have a tax company, credit repair, and insurance.
Yeah.
If you jacked up a policy some kind of way and somebody didn't get paid and now they want to sue you, they can attach your assets from your tax company and your credit repair company.
Yep. That makes sense. So like you said, it's limited liability for a reason. Like you want to play smart. So just say, looking back, all right, just now I might have had 2 situations at my tire shop where my guys might have jacked the car up and it might have scratched the door or something. All right, now that could have been a situation where it's like, all right, I want my youth development companies under one LLC, separate from my higher risk businesses like the cleaning business. You got slip and falls. You can mess up people's carpets. You can mess up a strip and wax job. Tire company, like I said, you can have a whole lot of infractions. So, like the young lady just said, you want to look at what companies you're grouping in a LLC, and just look at whether you want a whole separate entity, like a whole separate LLC or a sole proprietorship or a limited partnership, versus, all right, are all the companies low risk?
Gotcha.
Yeah. Now, all right, just say in addition to LLC, all right, you do have, various insurances you can get. And most people, even myself, don't use insurance like we should. Sorry, just say for instance, you got general liability. All right, these terms, they sound big, but they're not expensive. Like you can, like I just say I got a $2 million policy for my cleaning company for like $150 down, $75 a month. All right, so think about $2 million. That's a lot of insurance coverage, and it only costs me about $600 a year. So it's like you can get these insurances to make sure, hey, if something happened, I'm covered. That's what insurance is for. Same way with your car, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you got general liability. All right, now say once you start hiring employees, you can get, you got workers' comp, to cover, your liabilities on that. You also got surety bonds, in which, just say in the cleaning industry, I had to get a surety bond. That way, if anybody goes in a building and steals something, I'm covered. All right, so let me show you how cheap that is. For $50,000 worth of coverage, I only paid $150 for the whole year. So that means if somebody would have went in and stole a computer or something really big, it would be a drop in the bucket as far as my coverage, because I had it. So like they say, with insurance, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So
Mhm.
if you feel like you're in an area where it's gonna be, you're dealing with people, it's gonna be some kind of liability. Hey, just cover your back. Go ahead and invest in the insurance, and then just say, if you already got car insurance through somebody, all right, you just get a quote from that same company. Hey, look, how much y'all charge for general liability? How much y'all charge for a bond? And you might get, you might get a multiple insurance discount to where now you're paying even less, but you got the coverage if you need it.
Wow.
And then now I'm gonna tell you another thing. Now, I don't know if regular companies that are not service based use this type of insurance, but just say me being in the cleaning industry, all right, just say when you're in business, whether you make money or not, you're occurring deductions. All right. So that means, all right, if I got a home based business, guess what? I can write off a certain percentage of my mortgage. I can write off a certain percentage of my cell phone. I can write off business trips, business meals. All right. A lot of people don't know, if you use your company, your car as a company vehicle, you put a car magnet on there. Guess what? That's a company car. You get a deduction. All right. If you switch your insurance from regular car insurance to business, like I had to get automobile insurance in the cleaning industry. So guess what? My whole car insurance was a tax deduction, like the whole thing. All right. If I purchase a vehicle in my company's name, guess what? That's a whole deduction. So that's what most companies, especially if you got pretty savvy, tax consultants and accountants and bookkeepers, like your whole life could be a write-off.
Mhm. Right. We do have a couple questions in the chat, and some of them you haven't addressed yet. But one from Deanna, she wants to know, how do you file the DBAs? Yeah, I think that depends on the. But she wants to know, how do you file the DBAs?
Once you get your business license. So when you go to get your business license, it'll basically be opening another, like you'll be creating another entity, like that DBA, and then it'll have your LLC and then whatever the name of that business. Now, the reason why I start at the business license department is because in most cases, guess what? You can't open a business bank account, which I highly recommend, without a business license. So that's just the natural start. If you don't get a business license, first thing your bank is going to ask for is either your LLC, like your incorporation paperwork, or your business license. And then they'll ask for the deposit. So you got to start at the business license place. So they'll literally write on your business license, LLC, DBA, that new business. And then you take that and then you go to the bank and then you open your individual account in that business name.
Okay, so I don't have to go to the IRS.org, like we do the EIN and do the entity name and then do DBA. It's
If
just when we file for the business license, we put the LLC, then DBA.
Yeah. Now, if you're gonna be using the same tax ID, because they do give you an option. All right, just say you can use the tax ID number of the actual LLC, or you can actually just get a whole nother tax ID number. Now, I've always, like with my DBAs, to make it easy for me to keep up with, because all right, just say when you get in the technical space of filing your Schedule C and you got to come up, remember all these different tax ID numbers, your Social Security number, like all this stuff. Like I just wanted to simplify my process, but it is some people that have a tax ID number for their LLC and then individual tax ID numbers for each DBA. So just however you want your life set up.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Tim.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Oh.
Not, do you recommend getting a bank account in each one of your doing business as companies?
Absolutely. Great question. And the reason why I say that is because, all right, just say when it comes to your tax deductions, all right, I always tell my people, like my coaching clients, look, when you open an account, if you're not good with checks, like even if you are good with checks, I tell them get a business debit card. And then everything you spend for your business, you swipe that debit card. So if you got an individual, if you got your businesses and individual bank accounts and you got debit cards with that business name on there, guess what? If I'm going, all right, just say I got a cleaning company and I got a tire shop. If I'm going to get cleaning supplies, I'm not going to use my tire shop debit card. I'm going to use my cleaning supply debit card. That way I don't have to keep up with all my receipts. When it's time to file taxes, I can just go to the bank. Hey, for this company, give me a 6-month bank statement of all my expenses. And guess what? Those are going to be all my deductions. Every time I debit, it's going to be something for that business. And I can just go and pull the reference back up.
Well, thank you for that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we do have another question, but you haven't gotten to S corps or anything like that, so I'm gonna wait on that question. I think you answered this though. What if your businesses are under different industries? Can they all be under one parent company? If there's
Absolutely. Just say with my LLC. All right, under that same LLC, I had 2 tire shops, I had a restaurant, I had 2 cleaning companies, I had an event planning company, I had a lawn care company. I had probably like I said, 10 different businesses in 6 different industries under that same LLC. Yeah. So it's not now. Just say like I said, most people are not serial entrepreneurs. So just say I had a big spread on purpose. So just say if I was trying to categorize them based on all right, high risk businesses and low risk businesses. Looking back now, I probably say, all right, I'm gonna start an LLC and then just say all the low risk businesses will be under that, all the DBAs, and then I'll have individual LLCs for like the really high risk ones. Because like the young lady said earlier, liability, comes within your interaction with customers, business to business interaction. So if you, in case you did get sued, then all the assets owned by the LLC would basically be grouped in one category, which is your umbrella company.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I usually don't go into businesses. To be honest, up until I had my tire shop and maybe 2 years ago, I never really thought like, hey, I would be getting sued. It's just one of those things. I do good business practice. I try to go the extra mile with my clients. I'm really big on safety. Just like any other company you ever work for, you do your safety measures. You do your safety meetings. You basically train your people how to minimize like risk and liabilities. And like I said, I only had 2 infractions, and it was really, to me, it was bogus, but it was situations where, like it wasn't like would have been no big lawsuit, but like small claims, like, hey, lady said, like I said, my guy, when he jacked her car up, she had like an old Bronco. He said it bent her door, so she basically came back with the city and try to sue us for like $500 or take us to small claims court, and which we beat the case because it was an '88 Bronco. It was already bent. All right. Then another time, I actually was personally changing tires this day, and this young guy, he had just left from Pep Boys, and they had put his spare tire on there, and he told me that they scripted his lug nuts. So I went back and forth with him about 10 minutes, like why I didn't want to do it. Now I felt kind of sorry for him as a young brother, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna put it on, but look, your situation is already messed up. So I went ahead and put it on, knowing that it was messed up. Not even 2 hours later, he come back with some paperwork, like saying, hey, I just went back to Pep Boys, the same people that messed it up, and now they didn't convince him that I messed it up. So they I want to say he tried to get me for like $200. But I'm pretty, like, I was a political science major going to school to be a lawyer and a sports agent. All right, my dad's a district circuit judge. First thing is, I didn't allow my customers to run my business, and I didn't really take much stuff because I know I'm an honest guy. So I told the people that brought the paperwork back, look, y'all might as well rip it up. I'm not going to court because it's bogus. And that went away. It was just like that.
Awesome. I do have other couple of questions, but do you want to touch on S corps or any other type of legal structure?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, S corp, like I read up on them, like years ago. Like I used to, be really big into, I'm still big into self-education. I was studying Susie Orman and a lot of financial literacy coaches. So what I learned about S corps, then it kind of deterred me from wanting to create one. Now, there are some people that do it for tax advantages. I just never created one. So I would say in that sense, you might just probably do a little research on it and just see, if that, because just say for each entity, it's basically like a definition that lines up to your personal situation. So just say LLC is probably the most popular legal structure, and then it would probably be sole proprietorship and then limited partnership. Now, S corporation, to me personally, is like a rich person's, like when I say rich, I'm talking $100 million, 200. That's like a rich person's entity, because like you're really kind of strategically set up for big losses, big gains, blah blah blah.
And you have to pay yourself a salary. Your business definitely needs to be making profit. So
it gets more technical. There you go. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Somebody wants to know, which insurance company do you recommend? Victoria.
I've used a lot of them. I've used and I usually don't mention State Farm, but like I've had insurance through them. It was high, I would say that. Now nationwide, like it's a lot of independent owned agencies. Like just say my nationwide rep, she was a black woman, really really good. She gave me really good rates. So just say I've used nationwide. Now most insurance companies, like they'll sell general liability. Now when it comes to workers comp, it's certain companies that do it. Like just say I had Hartford's insurance for workers comp. When it comes to like just say if you got a physical building, like you can get like well, I had to get garage insurance. It would be something different for like a regular commercial building. But in some cases it might be included in your lease. Like I've had 5 commercial leases. To say 3 or 4 of them, the insurance was actually already included. So I just say, depending on who you got your car insurance through, I would start there, and then just say, ask them if they got like bonds, and then you just be specific about the business you're in. To say, all right, for this particular business, what would be a bond that they would use? Like for me, I had to get a surety bond, and that was like if anybody stole. Now I will say this. All right, in you guys' business, all right, remember identity theft is a big deal, right?
Mhm.
So maybe y'all want to look at that and say, all right, what insurance would cover my back and my people for identity theft? So that good question. So that would be the number one thing I would look up. And actually start with your the people you do business with. If they do good business, start with the insurance company you deal with. Ask them, hey, what if identity theft? Just say that. Hey, what coverage would cover me from that? Because
That's
that would,
good. I ain't think about that. I don't even know if my insurance. Yeah, that's a good question.
yeah, because that's a really big crime now. So in y'all business, y'all deal with social security numbers, tax ID numbers, like people address. So yeah, you want to look at identity theft insurance.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that because I had no idea. So thank you, Mr. Tim.
Oh, no problem, no problem.
Okay, Tim, I have a question.
Okay.
You've talked to us about businesses that have low risk, but what about businesses that do have high risk? For example, my family has a dump truck company, and I have a lot of school bus drivers as clients.
Gotcha.
And my school bus drivers, they own multiple school buses, and a driver can go out and kill someone behind the wheel of a truck, a bus, or anything like that. So the question is, what do you recommend to help those clients that in the event something does happen, that they're not taken for everything they have? Like, for example, if they own commercial property, I hear you saying everything that's attached to the LLC is up for, is considered assets. So if they own multiple commercial properties, different things like that, what do you recommend to protect that client?
Definitely set them up separate. Like the young lady said earlier. All right. So driving anything like for a living, like whether it's truck driving buses, commercial shuttles, yeah, that would be in a category of itself. So there would be a LLC that I would keep definitely separate from real estate, because land is the only real asset. So I wouldn't want to get one of my drivers to get in a car accident and then I'm losing land and houses because it's under the same umbrella company. So yeah, I would definitely try to, and it doesn't cost a lot. It doesn't really cost no money. Like you can file a LLC for, like, in South Carolina, $110. So it's like I would just strategically say, all right, with the driving companies, all right, we're gonna talk to our insurance people, make sure we got general liability and accident, collision, like all the insurance that'll cover us on that end. But you're gonna be in a separate LLC, and then just say for your real estate, you might set up a holding company, and then it would be its own entity. But yeah, I would keep them separate, definitely separate.
Yeah, this is Taronda, and I do agree with Tim. And just like I was saying earlier, in this situation, you can even do a separate LLC for each one of those buses or each one of those dump trucks if you wanted to. And I would recommend also doing the LLC in Nevada, because you can do them anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the one that offers them. The reason why I recommend that one is because it offers the most protection. And if in the event that the business is sued, it's on future earnings from that state. And what you can do is, I mean, I hate to say it, but we're in the business of protecting the business.
Absolutely.
So in the event that you have 5 dump trucks, it might sound crazy, but if you do a separate LLC for each one of those, if one of those dump trucks end up being in a bad accident and people lost a life and get sued, that LLC, the suit would be against the future earnings in the state of Nevada, and you can close that LLC, and the other 4 are still running like nothing ever happened because they're not attached.
That's smart.
Absolutely.
Nothing else is attached.
Absolutely. I have one more question for you guys.
Okay, go ahead, Trillis, because I was going to say something about that state of Nevada, but go ahead, Trillis.
Okay, so what about does it become a catch-22 when the client is trying to go for big business loans and they have to show their assets with their financials? They're trying to get, big loans.
No, I think with that, I mean, put it like this. Just say All right, just say you was trying to get a house finance. They're gonna basically have you list all your assets, whether they're separate or not. They're gonna say, all right, how much you get for child support, how much you get for retirement, how much you get for your current income. So they can group them. Like you can have, like, just say the average millionaire has 3 to 8 streams of income. So that means they're individual streams of income. All right, they get financing easy too. So anytime you get financing, they're gonna group all your assets anyway, whether they're separate. You got overseas accounts, you got assets in mutual funds, IRAs, whatever. They're gonna, you're gonna list them anyway. Now, if he's trying to, actually, even the same with business finance. I was about to say, if he's trying to like finance business vehicles or get a business loan, it's gonna be the same thing. All they worry about is, hey, look, can you pay the money back? They don't care which sources it come from, especially if it's documented. Can you pay the money back?
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, that wouldn't be too big of a deal.
I have a question.
All right.
Is that the same for as like real estate? Say you have several homes. Is it smart? I think Kim mentioned it to me earlier in the year. But is it
Mhm.
smart to have, like, should I have a LLC for each property, or should I have maybe 2 or 3 in one LLC, or 1 or 2 in another LLC? In case a tenant may want to mess around and sue me for something, or mechanics liens and stuff.
Yeah, can I say something? My name is Rachel. When something, are you using those properties as investment properties?
Yes, they're rental properties. So I guess yes, investments.
Okay, so you wouldn't necessarily have to have a business for each one. They're all under one business. Is the sole reason that you having a business is to make money, correct? With the properties.
Yes.
Yeah, so that all those will fall under investment properties. So
They're
if
up
you
under my name. Sorry for the interrupting. They're up under my personal name. So should I
no,
take them out and put them under my business name?
you should create a business because that's asset.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's income. So on your balance sheet, that's revenue coming in every month, especially if you had tenants.
Yes.
So you want to keep track of it like that. You're actually running a full business. So you might as well categorize it as that.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Now, let me add something to that. Now, when it comes to, because I see we're getting a lot of questions about being sued. Like I said, I've owned multiple businesses, dealt with like Fortune 500 companies like Office Depot, PetSmart, Apple Store, Bonefish Grill, Outback, Longhorn. Pretty much every retailer I've had contracts with, every major restaurant chain from PF Chain to Outback, Longhorn, Bonefish Grill, I've had since I was like 22. Now I've only had 2 infractions, and that actually came from individuals, and that was in my tire shop. So, all right, now the reason is I like I said, I didn't focus on lawsuits. I focused on basically providing good customer service, good service, and then preventive methods. So, all right, let's focus on preventive methods. All right, just say like the young lady asked about investment properties. All right, it's a plenty of documents that you just like when you sign a lease for a condo or apartment, they're gonna have you sign off a lot of paperwork. And what people don't know is in that paperwork, you're basically assuming responsibility for a lot of stuff. That's why they do a security deposit. All right. They also have separate insurance. So all right, if you want to go crazy and tear up the walls and mess up the carpet, all right, not only are you gonna lose your security deposit, but their insurance is gonna cover it too. All right, even with athletes, they got insurance for athletes to where, all right, if I play football and I break my arm, guess what? I'm getting paid the whole time my arm broke. All right, so focus more on preventive measures. All right, what documents can I create or find to prevent loss of income, loss of assets, and then also what insurance can I align myself with to prevent loss of assets. So like I said at the beginning, most business people don't use insurance for what it's for. Like, but you really don't have to take any personal or business losses if you got the right insurance.
Okay, good. So yeah, we do. Ooh, we have a couple of other questions, but I think there's one more thing you wanted to talk about with your speaking points, the creative financing, Tim.
Yeah, now it does sound like everyone is kind of in business already. Like, is there anyone that was looking to like expand? Because I can kind of talk about, since all of y'all are in the tax business. Does anyone have like brick and mortar tax businesses?
Okay, there's a couple people on here that have brick and
Yes,
mortar.
yes.
Uh-huh.
All right, I'll touch on that then. All right, so just say for instance, at one point a couple years ago, I basically, it's a certain thing, and it's a business phrase called automation. Now I teach a class on it, and have anybody ever heard of Rich Dad Poor Dad book?
Yes.
Okay. I teach from the cash flow quadrant. Like, I teach Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant, and I teach the difference between self-employed and a business owner, and a business owner and investor. Now, once I learned the difference between self-employed and a business owner, and I'll explain that to y'all in a minute, my income went from $9,000 a month, and I was working 85% of the time, to over $30,000 a month, and I was only working 15% of the time. Because, like, after reading the book, just years after, it hit me. It was like, okay, I'm making pretty good money, but I'm doing all of the work. So, all right, automation is, all right, you hire people or outsource, and then you have them do the work, and then you focus on sales and marketing and opening, in y'all case, more tax businesses, whether it's home-based tax businesses or physical brick and mortars, and then you make a little bit off of a lot. Because the key phrase is, you rather have 10% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of your own. And that's how you build wealth. So I just say the difference between self-employed and business owner in real life terms. All right, look at a hair salon. All right, the hairstylists are self-employed, meaning if they don't work, they don't get paid. Now, an easy way to know if you're self-employed, just flip the word, employ self. All right. Now, so all right, the hairstylists, if they don't work, they don't get paid. They're self-employed. All right, they pay booth rent. Just say they're paying $100 a week to the salon owner. All right, say it's four of them. Now the salon owner, all right, off of those four hairstylists would make $1,600 passive income, whether she did hair or not. That's the business owner. So most people actually get trapped in the self-employment box because they're not making income either off of digital products or off of multiple locations or even their own business because they're stuck in the business. Y'all understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right, in y'all case, so I just say if I was in the tax business, I would basically be looking at the model that Liberty Tax got, H&R Block, and I would be, instead of thinking solo entrepreneurship, meaning, all right, it's me, I'm running this tax business, even if I was doing $200,000 a year, all right, it's me doing all the work, and I'm definitely going to work hard during tax time. I would be thinking, okay, I'm going to get this business going, then I'm going to automate it, meaning I'm going to duplicate myself. I'm going to train somebody to do exactly what I'm doing. Then I'm going to open another location, and then I'm going to do the same thing there. Then I'm going to open another location, and then I'm going to do the same thing there. All right, right here in Columbia, it's a black woman. Matter of fact, I know about 3 black ladies that got at least 5 physical tax businesses at the same time. All right, one is, it's called Javis Tax Service. She got about 5 different locations throughout Columbia. So that means she's making income off one building and the tax people in there, making income off another building and all the tax people in there. It's just all these locations. So that's how. So within every business, you got multiple streams of income. You just have to be creative and think big enough to say, all right, I'm going to outgrow my self-employment situation, meaning I don't want to just make a pretty good income and I have to do all the work. I want to make passive income off of helping other people into business or giving them job opportunities, and I want to just keep duplicating that. So you want to think like same way ancestor Madam C.J. Walker thought when she created the original network marketing model that Avon and Mary Kay used. It was actually a black woman and her mentor who created that system. All right, instead of her wanting to sell all the hair care products, she said, all right, I'm going to empower other black women to sell hair care products, and then I'm going to make a little bit off of them. And then she basically went to become the manufacturer, and then from there, she just basically was just supplying the distributors, and they were selling hundreds and hundreds of thousands of products. So she became the first female millionaire, black or white. And like I said, it was a black lady. But Mary Kay, they perfected the system. Avon perfected the system. But the idea is you want to set it up to where you can make money off other people. So even if it's, all right, during tax season, I'm going to hire 5 college students that are in accounting majors, all right? I'm going to take them through a training course, all right? And then I'm going to make sure they're trained up, make sure I answer all their questions. Then I'm going to put them in a situation, especially if they're in, you can have like multiple locations in one city. So just say, people in different states. All right, I'm going to train them, and you can train them virtual, same way we're talking now. We're in a digital era. You put together a training course and say, all right, I'm going to train them to do tax preparation. And then guess what? All right, out of 100%, I might say, okay, 60-40. All right, you're going to keep 60% of the income you make in this location. I'm going to get 40%. Guess what? The 40% is passive income. That's a no-brainer. Too easy.
Okay. Awesome.
Man, you onto something. I'm telling you,
Yes.
you are onto something.
Yes, you are. You are touching a lot of buttons this evening. Yes, sir.
Hey, but Tim, where are you located in South Carolina?
Yes, ma'am. I'm in Columbia, South Carolina.
Hey, I'm right here with you, bud. We need to hook. Yes, sir. We need to hook up.
I had 2 tire shops on Broad River. I had one connected to Brakes for Less, and then one down by Sled. I just sold the last one in February.
I just opened my tax office right off of Broad River Road. I'm on Garner Lane.
Okay. Oh yeah, definitely. I think she's gonna post my information.
Okay.
In the group or whatnot. But yeah, I'm right here in Columbia.
I will be calling you tomorrow.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, great. It is actually 8:00, but I have one more question, and it looks like it's important. She's been asking it a couple times. If you have maybe about 5 more minutes, Tim, could you answer it?
Yeah.
It's about finance. I'm not sure if you go into this, but this may be a sidebar question. But she wants to know, Shanika, what is your advice about getting business loans, grants, credits, or et cetera in your business name? And do you have to have an LLC in order to do that?
I would say this. If you can get it in your, all right, now it's a search thing called DUNS number. All right, it's free to get, and you can basically, all right, and this is for everybody, build up your business credit. Now, this is one thing I wish, because see, I had virtual mentors like the Les Browns and Dr. Dennis Kimbrough. So if business coaching and mentors were really popular when I got started, I would have been light years ahead. All right, now it's an emergence of those people. So, all right, it's a term that everybody need to write down called DUNS number, DUNS. All right, and that's basically like your business credit. So, all right, you want to go ahead and get your DUNS number, and you basically want to get just the same way you would build up, all right, your personal credit. All right, they say to build up your personal credit, and I've done this. I've literally went from a 420 to a 720, like literally. All right, but this is what I did. Like I got a prepaid loan. All right, so prepaid, like it's a different term for it. Basically a prepaid loan. I got a secure loan. All right, so I got a secure loan, a secure credit card, and I did a department store card. All right, I paid on all of them on time and a little early and a little more for a year. All right. And then any other, like say student loans, I made sure, I consolidated and, got those to where they weren't reported. Because I went to Benedict 1 year, went to USC 4 years. So between 5 years of college, you're going to get some student loan. All right. But you don't want it reporting on your credit because it will destroy your personal credit. All right. So you want to do those 3 things or 4 things and get your credit situated to where you can get a personal loan or a business loan. Now you build up your DUNS number, your business credit profile, so that you can get like cars in your business name, even if it's, I'm just throw this out there, because a lot of companies do this. Even if it's your personal car, all right, and you're gonna use it even a day out the month for business. If you can buy it in your business name, guess what? You can write it off. And this is what people know that, we don't usually get this information. All right. But you want to build up your business profile. So you want to get, small business merchant accounts, because they call them like trade lines. So you want to get enough stuff, like small things that, that you can pay off. You don't have to, put a lot of debt on there. But this is how credit works. If you don't have any references, what do they have to reference your credit score? So you actually have to build references on there, merchant accounts, to where they have something to judge you against. So like I said, you get little small accounts, pay them off. All right. That way, when you do want to get, either business real estate like quadruplexes, duplexes, whatever, income earning properties, you can do it in your business name. All right. If you want to get fleet vehicles and get it wrapped in your tax company name, whatever, you can do it in your business credit if you build it up. So you got to create it. All right. Now, as far as grants, I tell people, me personally, I've never got a grant or a business loan. And to me, waiting on it is more passive. I feel that if you focus that time and energy on sales and marketing, then you can earn the money. All right. And it's a saying that sales cure 99% of business problems. So just say if you have financial problems, that means you got to sell more. So sales cure problems. All right. So even before you get to sales, all right, if the problem is, all right, I don't have enough customers to get the money from. So now you just need to generate more leads, because leads lead to sales. All right. We're in a digital marketing era. I'm a digital era. So that means most of transactions are actually taking place on free platforms. You got social media. You got, like, I've built 6-figure companies off of Facebook, LinkedIn. I've found over $400,000 worth of contracts on Craigslist, and I teach that class. But that was all free. Like, I never had to do paid advertising. I actually had a contract with my tire shop with iHeart radio station, which is the largest radio station, and they bartered $36,000 worth of radio ads. I didn't have to use them because I outsold my tire shop through Facebook. So yeah, so sell more.
Okay.
That's mine.
All right. Well, yeah. So that's it. How can, if anyone else needs to speak to you, how can they get in touch with you? I am going to put the information in the group too. But what's the best way that they can get in contact with you, Tim?
I'm gonna move out the way. Like, my cell phone number, like and everything is business to me. So I don't, like, I got business numbers and cell phone number, but it's like I want to be accessible because I do 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. So I just say my cell phone number is usually on my Facebook, my LinkedIn. My email is timthemotivator@gmail.com. And I usually, check it a million times a day because I do, global business right from my phone. My Facebook is Timbo. That's my country nickname. So Timbo Black Sun N. So and I share a lot of value on, like, my social networks. So just say on Facebook, I share a lot of value. On LinkedIn, I share a lot of value just every day, just, free tips for business and entrepreneurs. IG, like, I'm really big into social networking. So I believe in a digital era, if you're in business, you should be networking. Now, let me break this down real quick. I know y'all got to go. All right. The first year I got on Facebook in 2006, I made $40,000 from my event planning company. The next year I made close to 100,000. All right. The reason why was because I didn't look at it as social media keyword, meaning entertainment, fun, and games. I looked at it as social networking keyword similar to net worth. So I basically converted followers and friends into leads and sales. I didn't look at it as, hey, I'm on here trying to be friends, or I need to have a private profile because I don't want nobody. No, I looked at it as networking. So that means you need to have a public profile, and that means you need to network, meaning you need to open your mouth and communicate with people. If you add friends, you need to greet them. If they add you, you need to greet them, because if they don't know who you are and what you do, why would they do business with you? Just like most really high profile salespeople tell you, people buy or do business with people that they know, like, and trust. So if I don't know you, why would I like you or trust you? And that's what you can do through social media. You can get people to know, like, and trust you.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was so much awesome information, and this was so very helpful to so many people on the phone, and they still have questions rolling in. But again, he did give his contact information. You can offer. He has different services for you guys. If you have questions, you can definitely use his services. Get in contact with him and ask all of the questions that you need, especially for business coaching. Especially for you guys that need business consulting or coaching and things like that. He does have different packages available for you. Okay, so tonight was very great. I do appreciate everything you've given to us. You have dropped some jewels on even me. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm sitting over here Googling stuff now about my business, about the hierarchy and everything. So yeah, so this was very informative, and I do appreciate it. Someone wants to say, can you repeat your Facebook page info?
Okay, it's just it's gonna be all right. Just say, in the search box, just put Timbo. Well, all right, it's facebook.com/Timbo, like TIMBO, and then Black, like BLACK, and then Sun, like SUN. So just Timbo Black Sun. And that's the page. Like, I got 2 pages, but that's the one I'm most active on.
And I'll post it in the Facebook group too, you guys, so you all will have it. You can just copy and paste. Annette, you had a question?
Yeah, Tim, are you going to be available for a few minutes after this call?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm going to be calling you.
Okay.
You will call.
Right.
All right. I appreciate you guys. So again, I'm going to post all of the information in the Facebook page. Tim, I appreciate you. And you will be getting some calls from these people on the phone call tonight. Okay.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me, Kimberly.
All right. You're welcome. Good night, everybody. And I'll send this out in the morning.
All right.
Have a good one. Good night.
All right.